Hey everybody, this is Workbench. I'm going to take you through some free code camp today. Um, they have a new curriculum. I started it and erased my progress so I could kind of work on it with you. Um, so let's get into this. Let's go to curriculum. Um, this beta curriculum here. So full stack developer curriculum. It's designed basically takes the pieces of the other curriculum and improves and changes some of them, kind of lays them out differently. So the first thing we have here is welcome, getting started, and they actually have video lectures now. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing here. You can watch these. Basically describes how this is going to work. You scroll down, you notice it's not quite complete yet. Like I said, they took a lot of some of the other stuff and added video lectures to it and stuff, but the exams are not available yet, it doesn't look like. So they got CSS, JavaScript, front-end libraries, which is React is the library of du jour. Then databases doesn't exist. Uh, this Node backend JavaScript, which I assume be Node section, is not done. Python section, they actually have a Python course, so they just haven't gotten everything switched over. And then the full stack developer exam. So I believe these certifications are still available. So that's kind of what they're saying there. But again, this a lot of this stuff, is the same thing. I'm gonna close this. Basic HTML. So it's going to go through video lectures. You can do those on your own. So here's the first kind of project. This cat photo app thing's been around for a long time with them. So there's a little preview of what it's supposed to look like. And see here is a reference to Garfield the cat, lasagna, a Garfield looking cat. So get started here. So the first step is we're going to learn the different HTML elements. The first element we're going to talk about is H1s. So H1's a heading. There should only be one H1 on every page. You could have multiple H2s, H3s. The higher the number, basically by default, the smaller the heading, but you can control that with JavaScript and CSS if you wanted to. So at H1 element, it says cat photo app. So we just copy kind of the here and we put in cat photo. Make sure you close it. And there you go. You can see preview over here. Let's check our code. Yay, confetti. There can only be one. Step two, H1 through H6 heading elements are used to signify the importance of content below them. The lower the number, the higher the importance. So H2 elements have less importance than H1. There's some examples. So it's the whole hierarchy, H1 H6. Only, like I said, only use one H1 element per page and place lower importance headings below higher importance headings. So this should be like an outline structure. If you're going to use several of these things, you could have an H1, an H2, maybe two or three H3s, maybe another H2, maybe an H3 with, some H4s under it. Um, think of it as an outline. So below H1 element, H2 element that says cat photos. So again, H2, cat photos, close it. And voila, bring the rain, bring that rain. So, third, step three, the P element is used to create a paragraph of text on websites. Create a P element below your H2 element and give it the following text. Everyone loves cute cats online. I'm allergic to cats, so that's about the only place I love cats. There we go. See here, you got your H1, your H2, and a paragraph. Yippee. Moving right along. Step four, commenting. This allows you to leave a message without affecting the browser display. It also allows you to make code inactive. A comment is in HTML starts with a less than, explanation, two dashes, and contains line. Any number of lines of text and ends with two dashes and a greater than sign. Here's an example of a comment with to do removal to H1. So yeah. So you're going to want us to add a comment above the P element that says this. To do link to a cat photo. Allah. Step five. All right. HTML5 has some elements identify different content areas. These elements make your HTML easier to read and help with search engine optimization, SEO, and accessibility. The main element is used to represent the main content of the body of the HTML document. Content inside the main element should be unique to the document and should not be repeated in other parts of the document. Example code main H1 paragraph, then closing the main. Identify the main section of this page by adding main opening tag before the H1 element and a main closing tag after the P element. So easy peasy. Key to learning this stuff is going to be doing it over and over again. And from what I've seen so far, there's lots of opportunities to repeat parts of this. In some cases, in reality, you don't need to memorize it because, like, your VS Code or something will probably be a lot of help in giving you a lot of the boilerplate for this. So, congratulations, iRock. Hey, number six. In the previous step, you put H1 and H2 comment and a P element inside the main element. It's called nesting. Nested elements should be placed two spaces further to the right of the element that they're nested in. This spacing is called indentation. Is used to make HTML easier to read. There's an example of nesting and indentation. So yeah, you see down here, it automatically formats. At least it's supposed to. That's not formatted. There we go. The H1 and H2 elements comment are indented in two spaces. The main element below, use space bar. There you go. I corrected it without even finished reading this. So I just wanted you to fix this P element. Again, if you use like Prettier or something like that in VS Code, it'll take care of this stuff for you. But it's important for readability to do these things. If you were just to create a straight line down the side, uh, the browser would have no problems reading it. You would have a problem reading it, or somebody else would have a problem reading it. So this kind of structure makes it so much easier to read. You can add image to your website by using the image element. Image element has an opening tag without a closing tag. An element without a closing tag is known as a void element. There's a few of those within the HTML specification. Add an image element below the P element. At this point, there will be no image show up in the browser. So we're just going to put this here, and I assume they're going to give us something to put in there in a second. So step 8. HTML attributes are special words used inside the opening tag of an element to control the element's behavior. The source attribute is in an image element, specifies the image's URL, where the image should be located. Here's an example of an image element with a source attribute pointing to the FreeCodeCamp logo. So there you go. Get your example. Inside the existing image element, add this source attribute and with this URL. Let's say yes. There we go. The cat appears. Okay. So step 9, an image element should have an alt attribute. Alt attributes text is used as screen readers to improve accessibility and and is displayed in the image if the image fails to load. Here's an example of an image element with an alt attribute. So you just add alt equals and then whatever you want your attribute to be. Um, so they've kind of covered here attributes. Um, when you're using HTML elements, there are a specification you could go to like Mozilla um, Developer Network. Let me look that up real quick and show it to you. You go to MDN and say IMG. There we go. MDM network. Baseline widely available. I would hope so. Um, this element's been around for a long time. So it's cool. They give you a chance to kind of do your own thing here. Advanced element. Supported image formats. So supports these formats: JPEG, PNG, SVG, WebP. Loading your attributes. So you have your alt attribute, attribution source, which looks like it is experimental. Um, Cross origin, coding, element timing, fetch priority, height is map, loading, reference policy. So you could read through this. Cool thing about Mozilla is they give you all this documentation for free. You can go in here and look up all these. Here's your H1 element. You can read all about it, try it out here, um, understand it better. You can see an example here where CSS is used to modify it. So, and just to go over this real quick, I think they get into it later on. HTML is the structure. So we're working on the structure of this page right now. CSS, which means cascading style sheets, provides the styling of the page. Right now, we're just subject to the default styling applied by the browser. And then JavaScript makes the page dynamic. So when you hover over something and something else appears, or it goes like a bold, or may change size or something underneath the cursor, that's all JavaScript. For the most part, the CSS has some ability to do um, some dynamic things as well, but JavaScript's really the engine that changes all that. So um, let's see. What are we on? 9. Okay, image element. Source, we got our cat. Let's check our code. Uh-oh. Oh, we forgot. We're on the alt. So then we go to here, alt equals sidetrack there, showing you the MDN. There we go. Passed. It's alive. It's alive. Okay. Step 10. Link to another page with an anchor element. Here's an example. anchor, and then you have your href, which tells you where that link's going to point to, and then your closing tag. Um, Add an anchor element after the paragraph that links to the app. At this point, it will show up in the preview. And oh, it does not show up. And you might have guessed it's because there's nothing between these tags. So we could put something here, and there it is. So we could actually put this tag around this image element if we wanted to and make the image the link. So I think we'll get into that as we go through these steps. But for now, we have completed the task. Checkmate. I think I'm going to do to number 12 today. I'm doing a sort of as my 100 days of code. I'm going to post 100 videos in 100 days. These short videos, probably going through this stuff here. I'm also working on some C stuff, and I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. I mean, I could show it. Part of it is I don't want to, it's a course provided by a content creator, and I don't want to put their material out there for everyone to see. So I would like to go through it and kind of talk about what I'm learning, but I don't want the content to be thrown out there for free to everybody because he charges for the content. It's good stuff. At least I think so far. So I may be just giving a high level overview of some of that as we go along. Uh, so, but at some point, I've been messing around with Free Code Camp for years, used it to learn a lot of things, built projects based on some of this stuff. And I used to host a meetup, and I never completed the certification. So one of the things I'd like to do this year is complete the certification, or at least work my way through this full stack certification. So I'm kind of excited to see when they get the exams posted and work through those. But be hopefully doing a lot of other things on this channel. Um, as the name suggests, Workbench Quagmire, I literally have multiple workbenches covered in half-done projects. So part of my goal is to pick a project and finish it up, at least as best I can, and get it off the workbench. So tonight, before I started this, one of my projects was getting my 3D printer running again because it seemed to be clogged or something. It's running right now. Um, Hopefully it is. I'll go check on it here in a second. But have a number of 3D printers I need to upgrade and work on. I have office slash project room I need to finish, building cabinets for all kinds of stuff. So hope to post some of that content on this channel, as well as this code type related content, 3D printing, CAD. Um, Maybe I'll cut down another tree this year. Go through that and show you how to cut down a tree so it doesn't land on your neighbor's yard fence, um, that sort of thing. So let's see, number 11 here. A link text must be placed between the opening and closing tags, like we showed there in the previous example. There's an example of this. Click here to go there, example, and then you go href, and then click here. For whatever reason, this example's cut off. Add the anchor text cat photos to this, and voila. Add the words see more before the anchor element and in our gallery after the anchor element. So we're just going to make the link the cat photos portion of this, and then the rest of the sentence is just going to be a sentence. Normally be a paragraph, but we haven't apparently got that far yet. But we passed. Well, that's all I'm going to cover. We're at lucky number 13. We'll start with that next time. Look forward to posting more content. Hopefully, people find this interesting and maybe get interested and go in here and learn some of this stuff and build your own projects. So, we've got a number of code projects I want to work on too. So, code projects, hardware things, robots, fixing things, all kinds of stuff. So, this is a workbench signing off. Thank you very much.